bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.
Hi, it's Diane Swan here. Welcome to my channel Kataganya. Today I'm doing a couple of board projects for Wise Old Owl, just showing some of their products, including the Cadence sprays that I done a swatch test on in a previous video. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm opening up a couple of Mondo cake boards. They actually are sent to me in my surprise parcel from Wise Old Owl, and I'm going to attempt to use these to create a couple of mixed media canvases. So as this board is actually quite shiny, so if you just glue on it, it'd probably come off, and it actually still was a concern to me using gesso, but I'm going to give it a go and see what it is. What I would recommend from looking back is actually giving it a little bit of sanding first before actually doing this, but you can actually use cake boards. So if you find they are cheaper, sold out somewhere, it's a great idea, and I was having fun doing this. So I'm sorry, I'm actually also watching my iPhone. I was having a conversation with someone and I forgot to take it out of view. I do apologise for that. Now I'm just adding some gesso on these pages, and I will just continue doing that, and then I will dry them off. Okay, I'm back now. So the boards have fully dried, and I've actually left them overnight. They are a bit flaky and they are coming away a little bit, but they'll be fine. So also in my surprise parcel was a couple, or actually a bundle of doilies. Now when I done my opening of these, someone asked, I'll be very interested to see what you do with them, so I thought I'd use them in this first project. So what I'm doing at the moment is just wetting one up and laying it on the page, as I'm going to get some gel medium to glue them onto the page. So the reason I'm wetting these is so that when I add some gel medium, I'm hoping that they'll absorb the glue better and adhere to the boards. So I'll just spray them, lay them out on roughly where I want them on the boards, and grab some gel medium, and I will add them to the boards using that. So I used a tube of the Montmartre, and I only had the gloss left, so that's fine. So I'm just going to use that first. So as you can see, I'm experimenting. I'm actually adding a lot of the gel medium to the actual board, and then putting the wet doily on top of that, and just squeezing or pushing down through using my spatula that I have. So I'll just keep on doing this until I get what I'm happy with in the adhesion. decided the back of this one was actually missing something, so I decided to grab an old dictionary I have, and I'm actually going to add them behind the actual doily. So I'm using again the same gel medium, but I'm actually wetting down those papers as well, just to let them glue better, and it's a lot easier. Even in some decoupage, I find that sometimes if the papers are actually wet, they adhere better. So I'm just using that format here to continue with adding a background behind the doily, which I decided that's what this project needed. So I'll continue finding some pieces of paper and I'll add them to the background here, and we'll see where else these boards take us. Well, sorry to say that the video got cut short of my gluing the backgrounds on, as my new camera hadn't been sorted out to continue charging while I recording long sessions. So here I am back with both canvases fully dry. So at the moment I'm trying to open up the clear gesso and it wasn't working. There you go, all good. So as you can see, my background has changed on my recording desk. I've been doing some upgrades. I've actually, the glass that I use as my board, which I can wipe off and keep clean, and I can cut on, I can do anything on, as it's tempered glass. It's an old cupboard door off a entertainment unit, so that's what I've used, and I've now added some quarter round, very thin quarter round around the edges, and taped it off just to make it look better. And I added behind a world map just for just a little bit of difference. I found the brown sets off what I'm doing better and doesn't give back as much glare as the white was doing. So at the moment I'm just priming both of these with some clear gesso, as I really wasn't sure where I'm going to take them. So I'll just add this clear gesso to the pages, and then I will decide which direction one or both of them go. And it's such an exciting journey when I have no plans for what the outcome will be. So I just, with all my art, well, most generally all my art, I will go with what comes next. So if I walk away and my mood has changed, or something has come to me while I've been waiting, I will add it and change it. It's just how I do art. It's just me. So I'll just finish gessoing this and we'll see what my next step is. So here I am back. I've dried both canvases, so I'm only going to work on one at a time, I decided. So I don't know if you've noticed, but also on this particular layout I have crossed the doily over with cotton, and I've actually stapled the doily as well to the canvas as well as the cotton. It just holds it, and it just seemed to work better for the project to do so. So now I'm going to use these delicious sprays and see what they do on this canvas and this doily. So I really fell in love with these colours when Rachel from Wise Old Owl sent them to me. They're very bright, and I actually found that they hold their pigment very well. Now I've just sprayed some water on it and just dapped it upside down to get it. As you see, there was a lot of overspray with this pink, so my advice in using these is to place the spray closer to the canvas you want, unless you are after those after sprays. So as you see here, I'm actually spraying a lot closer, and I have a little bit more control of the spray, and I just was wiping off the leftovers from the top. So I'll spray some more water when I can find a hole, and I'll just spread this colour as much as I can around this area. So I'm trying to isolate the pink to a main area so that I have a colour zone for each. So I recommend doing this if you have a lot of overspray on your desk. Use some paper beside you and just mop it up. It's amazing what other projects can be created using this method. So I'm going to do this for a while. I'm just going to clean this all off. I'm going to speed up the recording again, and you can see where I go with my spraying, and I will be back later. So now I'm actually, even though it's not fully dry, I'm just having a look at focal points at what I can put on the page. Now my mind goes through lots of processes, and like I love this little tag that I have here, which is slightly, I would say, steampunky in a way, but I'm not sure, so I cut it down to size anyway. So now I'm going to just dry as much as I can the background here to see where it'll fit, but it just seems to cut off a lot of the main colour or the background. So I found these big white flowers. Now I love the flowers, but it doesn't balance properly, or from my point of view it doesn't balance. So I've also got these butterfly stickers that came from Wise Old Owl. These ones that I fell in love with and purchased from the store. So I found these absolutely glorious. So I'm looking for a butterfly that will complement the page and not add to, not take from. So can be a hard decision when you have quite a few gorgeous looking butterflies that I have here. So I'll continue speeding up the process while you see if you can work out how my brain works, because I can't, and see what I end up doing as the main focal point. It was rather an interesting journey, and I really loved what the result was. Looks like I have found my layout. So now I'm going to use some tacky glue to glue these onto the background. So I'll spread some of this with my finger, which is why I added it to my tabletop, and I'll glue that down. It's not very easy to glue these down, especially if your background isn't as dry as it probably should be to get to this stage, but I wanted to do as much as I could in the one session rather than coming back to it. So I will add a few of my cheaty kind of ways of doing things, and including using the staple again, wool clips, just to hold down these flowers so until they semi-dry, and I probably will have to add some more glue as required. So not sure what you think, but I'm actually quite happy with that. I do find the background to be a little dark, and I will show you what my attempt will be to try to actually send it back a little bit, not too much, because I really love the brightness of these sprays. They really hold well. So I'll just continue on with my process here, and I will be back. Back again. So as you've seen, I've got the stapler out. So you're best to use in some of these projects a stapler that'll open all up, so you can actually use it like a staple gun, and you just press it onto a soft, it has to be a soft canvas for it to work, but it does do the job. So now I'm getting a dry makeup brush, and I'm attempting to do a dry gesso over the top, which also highlights some of the textures that are in the canvas, and as you can see, it actually is now showing up some of the thread that is as there, and I'll just keep brushing away until I'm happier with the result. It's already lightening up the area that I want to be quieter. I'm keeping the flowers more in the dark, as the mix of the blue and the pink and the orange created like a brown that added to the page. So I'll just keep brushing this with some gesso and continue on with what I'm really enjoying of this particular canvas. Right, so I'm going to grab some mini stones now. So these are by Finnabar. I'm not sure if everybody has actually used these mini art stones. So these are really small clay-like stone. They're very, very mini. I haven't got any of the others. I remembered at the end of all my recording that I could have used the beads that I got from YZL, but I actually think these mini stones actually worked very well with this project, and when you actually see the finished dried layout, I think you'll agree. So I'm just adding this with some thick gel medium, and I'm mixing it on a brush and then just placing it around. Now, lovely enough, these all stayed in place. I actually didn't lose any off the page, so this is the best way to go on. Some people I know also will add the gel to the page and then press the stone into. I think this gives us a little bit more randomly control. It's how I like to do it. So, but your choice really. So I'll just keep adding these stones randomly along the actual canvas, and we'll continue with this project.